Hey, welcome to another exciting episode of Martini Mansion. We have one of our favorite people from just a recent show we've been with.
Yeah, I know. It was a recent show. It was Our Spigot Old Lace,
Yep,
and it was
I was your boss.
you were our boss. I know. You
And
were.
actually, your daughter did a show.
Oh yeah,
Oh
she was
yeah,
a producer.
producers with Exit 7.
So let's go back.
Okay.
Welcome to Martini Mansion. We're here with Jeff Erb. He is one of our cohorts in crime when it comes to theater. I guess you could say. And
He was one of our favorite people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He
How can
always
you not
kept
like
it
him?
lively. He kept it lively all the
Well, yeah, when I came in the third act, I just yelled at everybody basically, right? Told them what to do, solved the murder, and
We
then we were
weren't
done.
quite sure whether those lines were actually going to come out as something.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. Yeah, yeah, this is what happens when you turn 70.
So we are here at the Shortstop, which is, I mean, Nancy and I are here a lot, right?
People know us by now.
People
They
know,
know you.
they know
Oh
us by
no,
name.
here they are again.
Yeah, they know.
They
We
know.
usually have our own
Everybody knows.
special table.
Yes, we do. And then they know what we're looking for drinks generally.
Yeah.
But instead, we said, Jeff, we have to. We said we were going to play with him, so we wanted to get him because he's also really your main theater is not Westfield, it is Exit 7 in Lubbock.
Well, it was for quite a few years, but so I kind of, it's funny. It's like I started at Exit 7 in 2010. I hadn't done theater for quite some time, raising kids and just work and stuff. But then I saw a production at Exit 7. I'm like, oh, these guys are good, you know? So like when I saw Titanic, there are going to be auditions. I'm like, oh, I'll try out for that. And the kids were getting older, so they were in high school at that point. So anyway, and so I was at Exit 7. I did quite a few shows there. Then somebody told me about Wilbraham United players, which I had never heard of, even though I lived in Palmer, but our address is Wilbraham. It's one of those weird geographical things. And then got involved there. And then I saw a friend of mine during that, I think it was 10 or 11, 2010 or 11, when we had that storm over Halloween.
2011, yeah.
And I was doing a show at Wilbraham United. It got canceled, except for a few days. We got it back. So I'm like, oh, I'll go see a show. So I went and saw what the heck's it called? I forget what the show was called, but it was Valley Light Opera
Oh, Valley.
when they were at the Amherst High School. So I went there.
Is that where they are?
Not no, now they do it at the music Academy of Music in Northampton.
Oh,
But at
okay.
the time they were using that. It was, I think, maybe the last year. Anyway, I went there, and then I saw somebody I'd known when I was up in Hanover, New Hampshire. And then we got to talking, she and her husband, and it's like, hey, come out for that. So then I started. So I've been like Exit 7, Whoop, Valley Light Opera, and then
Sort of get the theater bug.
yeah, but I've like jumped around. But then I go back and forth. I sort of go with what the shows are and do audition.
So, do you remember your first audition? What was your very first audition? Was it high school?
Oh, it was high school. It was 1969,
Oh my gosh. I
and
was negative 3.
you were -3.
I was
Nine-
8.
So I was a junior, and they were doing our high school had a thing called Spring Swing, and had done it for I don't know, maybe 10 years up to then, maybe not as much, but every spring, and they were doing Guys and Dolls. And I didn't, I wasn't in theater. I was doing sports. I was in track and, wrestling and stuff like that. So somebody said, oh, yeah, try out. So I did for some reason. And I got the part of Lieutenant Brannigan, who's, again, the cop. I always play the cop. I always play. I always play a.
You were a judge in the production.
I play. Yeah, I play the voice of authority. I play either the father, the cop, the judge. It's whatever. So I got that role, and that's when I got the bug. And then the next year, I did the senior play, and then we did Carnival, and I did Carnival. I had two parts. I was the voice of Horrible Henry, the walrus,
Terrible name.
and but the weird. I don't know if you want to go into this, but I actually remember lines from that, which is kind of weird.
Isn't it funny though? Because you can.
Yeah,
Because I think did you enjoy doing that show?
yeah, oh yeah,
So
it was great.
I think that the shows that you actually do, like I can remember like a show that or it was like
A long time ago.
the small play contest or whatever.
Yeah,
But because the part that I really liked, I can remember
it's like
that
you
live
remember
on
things, right?
TV,
Yeah,
which was probably I don't even remember
yeah.
how long ago was COVID, so it was way
Oh
before
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Most lines I forget, not forget. It's just like okay, I'm on to the next show.
Right.
So but there are certain lines. I even know the audition line for that first
Oh,
audition.
that's so funny.
That is
Do you want to
true.
hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what we had to say because he wanted to see if we had a
This is
Brooklyn.
back in
Right.
high school.
This is high school,
Oh
and
wow.
this was the thing we had to say. Doity boiple boyd sitting on a coib, choiping and a boiping and an eating doity oitwimes. That's what the audition
Was that what
line.
it was? Oh,
Why I remember it, I have no clue.
I think
I have no clue.
I love auditions, and I think the
you do
audience.
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
All I do.
And Horrible Henry, now I'm going to bore you. Horrible Henry was, sometimes people don't notice I'm a walrus. And then in conversation, they make some anti walrus remarks, and I just die.
I can picture a
I
walrus.
know.
Yeah, see?
Sounds like one of my ex-boyfriends.
That's anyway, so why you remember that, I don't know. But that's when I got into it. And then I was involved with a theater group that was run by, quote, kids. When I say kid, I'm talking teenagers. There were no adults. We rented a church nearby in Shillington, Pennsylvania, and we basically ran it. We were on the board. Kids were on the board and ran it. We did things like the Fantastiques and your good man Charlie Brown. You know, things that a lot of smaller groups
Don't want to be
tend to
Sally.
do.
I know.
I was Snoopy. I played Snoopy. It was
Did you play
great.
Snoopy?
Supper time and all that. Yeah, I did. I played Snoopy.
Now, how
Um,
long, like from when your high school years, did you get? Like, was it a long time?
yeah,
Did you
it
come
was a
back
long
into
in
the
between.
theater?
I did do some theater in college. I did Pal Joey and I did a Shakespeare show that escapes the memory. But I did that, and then I did in seminary. We do. You know, we're busy, right? We have not only classes, we're doing field ed, and so you're pretty busy. But we managed to get a bunch of guys together who were the oddballs of the seminary crowd, and
Meatball.
the meatball. We did the catch 20. We did catch 22.
Oh.
Yeah, and I played Milo Binder. And Colonel, I'm not sure what it was, some Colonel guy. So then when I went to work up in Hanover, New Hampshire, at the Church of Christ at Dartmouth College, that was pretty much it. I mean, I was doing youth groups and meetings, and
Life gets busy.
it gets busy. So I did. I directed The Prisoner of Second Avenue one summer because it's like I got to do something. So I'm like, okay, well, they had a little stage there, sort of like Wilbraham United with their small little stage. And so I directed Prisoner of Second Avenue, directed the whole thing, and that was I
Did you
don't
like
remember
directing?
what's. I did actually, yeah, I did. I did when I was younger.
It scares me. It really does.
Well, now that I'm older, it scares me. See, when you're young, you don't know what you don't know, and you
Like
just
what you
sort of
said. I don't
launch.
know it now.
Yeah, you
Now
just
we know.
go, yeah,
Now.
and then that's right. And then once you know, you're like, oh my, why did I think this was?
Because the
You weren't
director has
thinking
to
back
have
then. You
like
just,
your.
yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
They have to have
Exactly.
a full vision
And
of like I can't
Oh, you do.
I can look like when if we're not on stage or whatever and you have the director giving people
Yeah,
where they want them to be, blah,
as a
blah, blah.
director,
I
you
don't
have to.
have that focus.
Yeah, you have to envision
You do
almost
the
everything.
whole entire
I mean, you're blocking in your head. You're going, and then the characters. When people come and audition, you have in your mind certain kinds of things, and
Things that Jeff was in, and I like I said, and Nancy and I were producers, was 1776.
yeah.
Now that show was, I never saw Rob's vision until the very end. And it was amazing. Once you saw it, like, oh my gosh, the way it ended, it was just the way he had the window set up that I just couldn't see unless you were on the balcony. I just couldn't see it. We had the orchestra in the
Yeah.
back. It was a really big production. I honestly thought you guys were going to get swallowed up on the stage because there were so many people.
Well, many people, a lot, yeah, a lot of folks.
You,
It was
you,
huge.
and then you. I mean, you had the most critical line.
Yeah, right. I could have walked off the stage and that would have been the end of the show. It's gonna.
We know United States.
That's right, exactly. Jane.
You were exactly right. And the thing is, like, I didn't realize, I actually learned a lot from just watching
What was going on?
what was going on. I didn't realize.
I mean, they did take some liberties, obviously, like every theater show does. Every show
I
does.
didn't realize, like, the end, when everybody was signing
The Declaration of Independence.
um, and they froze.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that
Was the tableau?
was the back of the $2 bill.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
So
right.
I did not see that, and I know when you see that and you guys all freeze, it was kind of going like, it was one of those moments for 2 seconds, 2 split seconds. Wow. Every time I saw it, and we were there.
Oh yeah, you were there for a lot of time, right? It's pretty dramatic. It's pretty dramatic. Yeah. I had done it before. I did it at Whoop. I had a different character, but this time, yeah, this time again, I haven't auditioned for the last. I mean, I shouldn't say this because, well, yeah, for that one particularly, yeah. I mean, and they still had women at characters, but when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, because I've always done not just the authority voice, the judge and the dad and the cop and stuff like that. I like the characters. If you can get that one, like James Wilson, that one main character that it's like, the eyes go there, and you sort of command the stage for a short amount of time, and you don't have to, you don't do the. It's like you don't have to do the lead, yeah.
We played
The cops.
men.
You play bumbling cops.
Which is, okay, so I tripped going on the stage
Yeah.
at auditions, and Stuart's like, that was just great. And I'm going like this.
What?
You liked it. Use it.
Stuart liked it.
I was great. So, the one funny thing is that, well, one, so the backstage antics of all shows crack me up. And we had a great set for Ours Thinking Old Lace.
We did.
It was good. It was
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
set. Not so X7. So just, I mean, full
Disclosure.
disclosure.
We don't have a Bruce.
So there's a
Yeah, you're not
gentleman
Bruce.
named Bruce.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. When he did Noises Off, if anybody hasn't seen Noises Off, you have to see this play. You have to see the movie or the play.
Well, he's all his
when
sets are incredible.
they turned that set, people in the audience
Yeah.
applauded. I mean, that was
Oh yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
And before him, it was Paul Hamill.
Oh, see,
And Paul did, because he's a one. Yeah, right. Paul did. Yeah. Well, it's hard to. You can't once knew who Paul. And he was a good friend of mine, and he was before like Bruce there. So, but he did Titanic. He did a lot before Titanic, but he was there when Titanic. He did. I don't know, quite a few years after that.
I mean, you
But
can
he
go
was
on their
brilliant.
website and they'll
But
show,
their sets are always really, really good.
What was really cool was that, so my Eden was my daughter. She was in the
Producers.
And right next, it just happened that next, and they always do past pictures at the X7, and right next to it, I was in Sweeney Todd, so we were next.
Oh, you were in Sweeney Todd.
And then we end up being. Once she found out, I said, "Yeah, Jeff Erb." I said, and she goes, "Yeah." Like I said, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and you were her favorite person of the whole cast of the producers.
Yeah, that was sort of stunned me when you said that. Like, what?
She was 16. had never. She was the youngest one in the cast. Everybody was nice to her. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
First show.
That was her first big show.
Oh.
That was Eden's first big show. She'd been in little tiny things before.
Yeah.
And she gravitated to some people, and the whole cast was phenomenal to her.
Oh, it was. It really. Yeah.
Jeff
was her favorite.
She's.
I must have done
"Oh my
something
God,
right.
Jeff,
I don't know what I did.
I said,
Yeah.
it's because, and I couldn't be backstage. I shouldn't because she's 16. So, well, it's illegal.
Well, yeah.
But it was just, she took it so hard the last day. You know, it's the last.
Oh, when it's done. Oh, yeah.
It's
I
hard.
I remember like in high school, particularly when you're younger, like because you get so immersed in it, and then it's over. And I described like in high school when it's done, it was like I felt like I fell off a cliff,
Absolutely.
and you're like, well, now what do I do?
And at least in high school, there's generally one or two shows, maybe, or one big show. At least now, we have a few theaters.
Oh, you got theaters. We got theaters. We are so lucky. They are theaters everywhere.
And I love how other people in other shows try so hard to get to other people's shows. They do. They try.
I think it's pretty supportive around here.
Westfield show because I live in Westfield. We always like to go
Elsewhere. Oh yeah, or Opera House or Hamden.
Is it David? David
Leslie.
is in,
He's in Opera House. Gentlemen's. Yeah, he's in that. Yeah, in February.
We've actually gone to Northampton.
We have. Yeah.
To
see shows.
You see VLO?
To see the Assassins.
No, I never saw the Assassins.
Oh, that was supposed to be funny. But there's summers and there's so many, which is great.
And where do we go to see?
Oh, and Majestic. I mean,
so in Granby, Connecticut, they have
Granby,
church,
that's right.
and actually Megan.
Oh yes, it's an old church, right?
Yeah, and we saw the Goes Wrong show there, and then this Megan is this other woman that she's gonna. Well, you know Megan.
Yeah.
Farrell. She's directing. Murder by Indecision.
Which she actually did in Westfield too.
She did, and she asked me to be in.
Oh, she's doing it down there.
So I'm not going.
Well, that's the other thing. You get to know so many people. It's great. I mean, you show up like we just started Oklahoma at Hamden, and we're Hamden, yeah, the Theater Guild of Hamden, and sitting in the first rehearsal, I'm looking around and going, well, I know him, I know her, I know him, I know. So after a while, and it's from other shows, not just that you know them from knowing them because they live in Belchertown or something.
So now other shows. So because you have an extensive history of shows, what is your favorite role? Not your show, not the favorite show, because sometimes your favorite role isn't in the favorite show. So do you think that?
Well, and a lot of times your role could be just I could list a favorite role, but it's like just like one little part.
Well.
But you have
I did. Okay. I did like Urinetown being in that because I had a larger role. Yeah, I played the villain.
I did.
That was the one time I was a bad guy.
Was that you?
Yeah. I was Caldwell B. Cladwell.
Were you the one?
And that was in spring. Yeah, I was a CEO.
It's about people that can't pee.
Well, no, they can pee, but I owned all the urinals in the world, as it were. So they had to pay to pee.
Pay to pee.
Yeah, so they had to pay to pee.
That was a Broadway show.
Oh yeah, no. Well, no, it was a Broadway show. I wasn't in the Broadway. No. It was at Exit 7 in 2016. So that was a big role. That was fun because I was like able to be real nasty and rotten.
Who would ever think a Broadway show about pee?
I know, exactly. But it has an environmental theme to it, kind of, I guess.
It was good.
What's also interesting is in the first few shows that I was in at Exit 7, I died every time.
Oh my God! You better calm.
Yeah, every time. It was like, okay, I got murdered here, I drowned there. In Titanic, I drowned twice because I was two different people.
Oh, wow.
I was a band leader and a father, or third. Yeah, I was a band. The guy that played, going down with the ship kind of.
Was that you? Was that him? Was he the one? You
He went
played.
down.
I played the violin. Well, I faked playing the
I love
violin.
those guys.
Yeah, there were three of us that would get up and just do this. We didn't know what we were doing.
I mean, seriously.
It was funny.
I mean, even in the
That
movie.
was the that was the one.
I
That
know
was the
that
show
guy.
where I was playing the baby grand that Paul Hamill had constructed. And unfortunately, during one of the scenes, I wasn't on at the time. The piano literally fell on John Waterwood. Yeah, he somehow got under the piano. So that was one of the, there's weird stuff that
Oh no,
happens, right,
I love
on
that.
stage.
I was gonna
Well,
make
that
fun
was
of
one of the
those.
weird
I
things that, yeah,
love those
exactly. And we
stories.
had to go out and like lift the piano up over. It wasn't a real grand, it wasn't heavy with the key, but it was like plywoody thing.
No.
But yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that went on
Poor John.
then, John. It was well,
Well, it is a John
he's
thing.
hysterical.
He's
He's so good.
yeah.
He's so good.
No, he is. He when we did Jesus Christ Superstar in Westfield, he played King Herod.
Oh yeah.
He's hilarious.
He really gets in.
Well,
He's so funny.
and that's what I appreciate about like people who are doing different like they take what I mean. They take their character, they take it to heart, they put their own like person. Well,
Their
I
little
actually
spin.
thought that we were hilarious.
I did too.
In what?
Not that
Oh,
ours
you
were that
guys
way.
were. You were funny as heck. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we're saying like,
Because you're bumbling. It's like bumbling around the whole.
cuts, because
That's
cuts, $9.95. But if you mention Brophy's name, you get
that's.
a dollar off coupon.
And then I went and whacked your hat off the one time, right? I went
No,
flying
the
into the
worst
thing.
was that when we were wrestling with Mark, my wig, which was horrible, the whole thing turned, and
It
literally
turned-
everyone, the
Yeah.
audience
It
laughed.
was like
This is
like a cheap toupee on
yeah,
a
exactly.
bald
This
guy.
is stuff that you kind of remember because of the weird stuff that goes on. Yeah.
And that's the thing is that Andy had a story about a woman falling off the stage.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I know.
no, just not a woman. We had a desk fall off the stage during the Odd Couple.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, yeah. We came out. Andy was in that with me the first time I had done it at Whoop, and
So was it,
it
was it the
it was on the left part of the
version?
stage. I mean, this is like the classic left part of the stage, and it didn't have. They didn't put up a barrier so it wouldn't move
Over.
on the edge. So the first time, one of the characters leaned on it, and it went to the. Now there's nobody there; it's to the side,
Right.
and that went in the floor,
Well,
and 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 I'm trying to think. It was Don. I can't think of his last name at the moment, but he comes out when the poker players the poker players. I played Speed
so
and he
you
played
did
some.
the regular.
Yeah, the regular version, and he came out and looked over there and went. Thought there used to be a desk on the stage there. So
What did you?
so we always remember that stuff.
So we have to do. We did this little. It was actually supposed to be a fun
It was a murder
mystery
mystery.
fundraiser for the lights for the Westfield Theater Group because hello everyone out there.
Oh yeah, we need money.
Money for
Lighting.
our lights.
Yes.
So we're doing.
We're doing this murder mystery play, and I leaned
was
on.
a table,
It was
wasn't
an end table
Yeah.
because the stage for our Sticking on Lace was on. It was
It
still
was. So
set
we
up
were.
there.
It was. So we were sort of like grouped into like a
Yes.
small
We
area,
were.
just to have your back on it.
Yes, I know.
Why this
and I
happened.
touched. All I did was touch the end table, and the whole thing collapses.
It all
and
collapsed.
crashes right off the stage, right
During the show. Yeah.
And I was like,
We sort of looked over. Didn't want to look over at
we
each other.
acknowledged.
We acknowledge it, but you can't look at the person because then
So
you'll start laughing.
just some of the other shows that I like that the character. I like playing character parts. That's what I'm kind of best at and I enjoy.
So
I don't.
What about leads? What about lead part?
Well, that one was a lead. Usually I do character things. Like for instance, I enjoyed doing Meyer Wolfsheim in The Great Gatsby at Wilbraham United. That was a first for them, I think, doing that. Trying to Speed and the Odd Couple was fun. I'm just sort of looking at some of the stuff here.
So we did the Odd Couple, the female version in Westfield. So
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yes, right.
it was so much fun because of course, it was sort of based off the same thing, but of course in reverse. So instead of us playing poker, so we had the women. So instead of the Pigeon Sisters, we had the
You had the monk. Yeah, right.
Manolo. We're from Larry Chiz.
Oh, Larry.
One of the
Was Larry? Oh, Larry was at 1776 with you. Now, what about? So, I'm just trying to think. The worst costumes. Worst costume you ever had to wear.
Oh my. No, no. Oh, that was the most hilarious in some ways because of the wig and because I go and I show people who they're not in theater. Like when I went to Pennsylvania recently, and and they're like speechless because they're like, "Is that you?" And it's like, "Who is?" Or people go, "Who's that?" I'm going, "It's me." It's like, "What?"
well,
Because of
not
the
that
wig.
ours were the worst costumes for arsenic, but it was like I showed the picture of Krista and I. Our picture
So she had the mustache.
because I had the mustache.
Oh yeah, you had the mustache.
So and of course because I have boots. I have big. So that was a whole big joke about Grothy's boobs because someone said, "Well, you're not
You're a guy. Yeah,
you're
you're.
not going to be believable because you have." I said, "Well, I'm sorry." So I put this like big. Actually, I took the little cushion from one of my chairs out in the
Oh,
yard and made
oh,
it
and put
just
it.
so I just looked like a big fat cop,
Right.
basically. So I showed the picture to my children. They're like, "You look just like Uncle Joe." And my brother.
Uncle Joe.
Well, aside from being fat, with the face, with the wig,
And
the
the
mustache,
mustache.
And the mustache.
yeah.
The mustache. Now, so are there any roles that you still want to play? Are there any bucket list roles? And even if it's a character role, like something in a play that you say, you know what, that would be a fun one to play that comes around.
The only thing that comes to mind is I saw Hamilton, which I know. Well, I'm
We
with you.
covered that in one
I
of our
know,
other
I
plays.
know. I'm with you. Hey, and I'm with you on it. I didn't really care, but there was one character when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's the one
The
to play.
king.
The king.
Oh,
That's the
the
one.
and you.
The rest of them they can have it. I'll do the king.
So, like I said,
The
we
king was
did
hysterical.
already talk about this. But for like Krista and I, okay, we didn't know anything about the
We
show.
didn't know the song.
We didn't know the song.
I didn't know the
so,
song.
you
I
know,
mean, I had kind of an inkling
so
of
they
it.
come out and they do a couple rap songs. I'm like,
We didn't know it was all.
we're like, all right.
You thought
Okay.
they'd break into a
So I thought
Rodgers
we
and
would break
Hammerstein
in.
type,
So the
yeah.
king was good. All the women weren't rapping. So
Yeah.
of course we couldn't understand. I shouldn't say we. I did not understand what they were saying.
It was
No,
very
no,
difficult.
that's an accurate description.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't enjoy it as much, but the king, the king, I could do.
And we did talk about this. We thought the king
Was fun and funny.
yeah.
So now, what are you coming up now? You're going to.
I'm going to in Oklahoma. I play Marshall Cord Elam
We need cowboy hats
and boots.
size 10 and a half boots.
Exactly. Well, I'm not the only one. The whole cast has to come up with their hats and boots, so I'm like throwing it out to everybody.
Now, and what? Now, is that in April?
That's in April.
That is
It is in April. The first 2 weekends in April. Yeah.
And that's at
That's it. Well, it's going to be at the barn. Is it called the Red Barn? I don't know, but it's in Wilbur. It's in Wilbraham. Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
guys have Sunday matinees or no? Or is it just like Friday, Saturday?
I don't think they're doing matinees this time, but I don't know for a fact because we just found out because of the I guess expense they've cut one of the weekends, so I think we're just doing the evenings. I'm not sure though.
See, 'cause-
There'll be more on that on the
No, I know,
website.
but the whole thing is because I think
Theater Guild of Hamden.
Yeah,
And we always like to go see the other plays.
We like to go see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I mean, the first couple of weeks, so I think that's actually Robin.
Yeah, well, like this, I'm going Majestic this weekend, and then the following weekend, yeah, our neighbor Peter Hicks is in it.
Oh my God, Peter!
Yeah,
We
so
love Peter.
so he's our neighbor, and yeah, he lives right up around the corner. We have the actors' little cul-de-sac. We have PJ Adzema lived there. He's now on Broadway, and
When is that coming up? When are you guys?
I'm going this weekend. I'm going Saturday. Yeah, and then after that, I'm going to see David Leslie's show, the one you were talking about.
That's the one we want.
Right.
I know.
And then there's another one that's
What's Exit 7 doing?
Oh yeah, that's it.
And then there's drinking habits at Suffield.
Well, I don't think Winter's.
Almost Maine is the other one.
Is that
Yeah.
up now?
It's coming up if it's not in February. Yeah, I usually volunteer because I have that connection exit 7. If I'm not, and I haven't been in one for a while, but I usually try to usher, one night to help them out.
Westfield, if we're not in the show, we're always ushering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's always, but we love to go to other people's shows, and then we always send them like something like, oh, this person is a guest.
So here's the thing that actually we like. Is that if we, like, say for instance, we audition for the show.
Oh, yeah. We're so petty.
So then we go to,
then you go to the show.
Let me just put it this way. Yeah. Arsenic and Old Lace was also playing at a different theater.
Oh, it was, right.
So we went to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I remember you saying that.
Because
to see how they did it.
We wanted to see, like, who played.
And how they did that.
And how they did it.
It was very different than how we played our part.
Yeah, which is good.
Yes, that's what.
Because everybody brings their own stuff, their own personality to the parts.
I mean, maybe it was good for some people, but the problem that I had was, which is a good thing for theaters everywhere, is that they had like a monitor up above, a teleprompter.
Oh, to get the lines correctly.
But not only does it do that, but now, because
you're almost look at that as opposed to
I'm
looking
reading
at the reading rather than watching the show.
And it was. But
Yeah.
It was hard. It was really. It was, but you know what? I think that it was good because I don't think Suffield, because Exit 7 actually has productions or shows that they have interpreted. Yes.
Yeah, some they do. That's true. They do now.
And maybe Suffield because they're smaller. They can't do that, so they'll have the teleprompter up there. But like I said, for me, it was hard. I kept on focusing. Yes. I kept looking.
I know it gets. Yeah, it's sort of like watching TV with SAP or whatever. When you're watching, instead of watching the show, you're looking at the reading. You're reading, yeah. But it's good.
So that was.
Oh, not I. I never flub line.
I was almost hoping that you would have auditioned for Robin Hood.
I know.
Well, I know. I was asked, but I had already committed to Oklahoma. Yeah, because Oklahoma. What's not to like? I love Oklahoma. And they're doing they're doing it. Well, I guess the version they did on Broadway was a little dark. I don't know. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But that's what I was told. And so we're going between sort of the Rogers and Hammerstein, happy, and the dark, whatever. That just in the middle. Well, yeah, old Judd's dead, that whole thing, and and people are. I mean, we just did the first song. The farmer and the ranger, or the ranger and the farmer, are supposed to be friends and stuff. I forgot about this, but they start, talking about being nice, getting along, and by the end they're all like fighting each other and slugging each other. Oh yeah, it's hysterical. I mean, it's like, oh yes, we need to be peaceable with one another and get along, and by the end they're like nailing each other.
No, we're good. Okay. We're gonna kind of wrap it up anyway because it's time for us to eat.
And you know what? It's funny about the dark side of things, because for Christmas Carol, you have the original movie thing. Yeah. But have you ever seen the FX version?
Oh, it's very
Christmas?
dark.
Oh yeah, it can be. It could be very, but with the ghosts.
And it's, it's worse than that. Like how it turned him about his schoolmaster.
Oh, and he was. Yeah, I did see that.
The one woman
who he was in love with.
Cratchit's wife.
He was Cratchit.
They made
Oh.
it sort of seem like she was the ghost of past, present, and future.
Oh.
She was haunting Scrooge because
Because
was
he
very
was.
dark.
No, I didn't see. No, I didn't see that.
No, it was. Well,
But
I
other than that,
watched it.
it's
I
a
just
great.
watched it the one because I was like intrigued by it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wow. Like, it certainly wasn't a Carol. I mean, a Capricorn or no.
So I guess to wrap it up is, I mean, what I would say is support theater in the Valley. I mean, there's so
We
much,
love
there's
you.
so much going
We
on,
need to have
you
you
know.
back in Westville more often.
Well,
or,
I'll come back to
or
Westville.
we need to
I
go
want to
where
tell you
you
one
are.
thing though, and it has to do with people. I guess I mean, this happened twice. I vowed never to go to Hamden because it was just too far for me to drive. I live in Belchertown. Now a lot of people would laugh at that.
No.
Westfield, again, I vowed it's too far. I'm not going to Westfield when I can go to, Exit 7 or Wilbraham United or some of the ones that don't take me that long to get to because I didn't want to go into Pike and the whole thing. So, but it takes friends who are also theater buddies. They go, come on, you can do it. We'll be in it. And it's like, okay, you're in it. You're in it. I know you. I know. I'll do it. I'll do it. And
But
that's what I
think
do
we feel the same way because there's
because of the people.
basically
The
like
people are great.
we're like a three theater group people.
Yeah.
Like I will do like it's the same thing with me. I usually go to bed at 6:30. Okay, I don't go to sleep,
But you're
but I go up and relax. So so I go to Exit 7. I
right.
will go to Second, and of course Westfield I can walk.
Yeah, you right.
And because the rehearsals depending on whether it's like 6:30 to 9:30 or whatever.
It's a commitment.
Oh yeah, that's way beyond your bedtime. See, I'm a night owl. I'm a night owl. I mean, I could go whatever
But
if
I
I
get up at
but
5 o'clock.
well, you do. See, I don't.
So for me, it's like, and plus, once you get home to actually after, which I'm sure you know, after you go to
Once you sit down,
but once you go to like rehearsal,
Yeah.
I'm all
Oh,
like,
you're wired. Yeah, you're wired.
I can't even fall asleep.
No. You need
After
some.
we go to our things.
No, exactly.
But
But
we are excited.
but it's the people like yourselves and all the other people I met in the theater, which is why I keep doing it. That's right. Now I'm the new sheriff in town, Cord Elam. Anyway, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Wow,
So happy
we're
to
very
have you.
excited.
Thank you. So everybody go. This is going to be.
So what are the? Do you know the dates?
It's the first 2 weekends in April.
And where is it at?
Theater Guild of Hamden.
Perfect.
Yeah, they have you can go online.
Okay, so go online, look for their Theater Guild of Hamden, and then all the show dates will be there. And
Well, not to mention all the others that are doing stuff.
like you were
Go
saying,
out, support all the theater groups.
There you go.
because it's fun. It's fun. If you're gonna spend money, don't go to a movie theater. Go to a live theater.
And if you haven't ever auditioned, take the risk.
It's fun.
You'll have a blast.
Nobody
Do it.
judges. That's the one thing I love.
Well, that's true.
They don't judge.
Yeah.
They don't judge.
No, we're all in the same boat.
All right, bye guys. We'll see you in the next.
All right. Thanks. Bye.